But
So
they're out
super
there.
specific to Minnesota is what the
Yes.
trout spotter is.
Well, so far, but now
Right.
I've also talked to the Wisconsin DNR and to the Iowa DNR, and I just expanded it open to Wisconsin and Iowa. And this is a Dorkdom exclusive.
Dork Forest exclusive, you guys.
Yep. This is a exclusive here, but I'm working with someone in Idaho who works for the Forestry Service on climate change data for trout, and I was able to get temperature readings for all the streams in the Rockies.
Oh, wow.
All of them. So now I actually have the ability, and I don't think anybody's done this yet, I have the ability to pull in very accurate temperature data for all of the Rockies extending from New Mexico all the way up to Washington. And I'm working my butt off with my full-time job trying to get these things out there for 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, so like that means not just Wisconsin. Can I do the exhausting list?
Yeah,
I'm going to do it.
please.
Here we go. Okay, so that means we don't
That's
just
what it's
have
for.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. That means we have New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah.
Really?
Did I miss any?
That sounds pretty thorough.
Yeah.
I don't think the
and
Dakotas.
South Dakota.
South Dakota?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
'cause
has
the Black Hills?
It has the Black Hills. You got
Okay.
it. They had that too.
They had that too. So
Yeah.
what you got is and the temperature data is for what?
The
Is
temperature, yeah, that's a good question. So the temperature data is like based off of these stream gauges that the U.S. Geological Survey has placed all over the United States.
Okay.
And so now, like, water is extremely important, especially on the West Coast, because it's dependent on snowpack.
Yeah.
One year it could be good, the next year it could be bad, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, we have invested blood and treasure into making sure that we know how much water we have.
Right.
And so we are taking that data, and I had like this Forestry Service scientist would know more about it than I do, but we had not only the temperatures, but also how much flow is estimated based off of all of the previous records. And so
Okay.
by combining not only temperature, but also flow, right?
Yeah.
Like how much water is coming through, you can make a pretty good estimate as to whether or not you're actually going to find trout here. Right? And so you take those two things together. The other thing that is really fun is they also had slope data. So if it's like 45 degrees coming down a mountain, like we're talking like an escalator of water.
That's enormously steep.
Yeah, that's probably not going to have fish in it, right?
No, that's a busy stream.
That's a busy street right there. I don't know. So like I was also able to take where the fish almost certainly weren't based off of the data too.
Okay.
So this became a super fascinating and incredibly boring point of conversation between me and my girlfriend. I just would talk about this all the time.
Did you know this?
No,
Did you know
This
this?
is so cool. Look at this. Yeah. So I mean, it was a really good data science project. It's just overwhelming. And then the problem is I got hired. So somebody saw Trout Spotter and was like, would you like a job to work in New York temporarily? And I was like, yeah, I do actually need to pay the rent. Shoot.
Right. And are there fish involved? Possibly.
No, there weren't. But there were
this
maps.
was your...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were maps because like everything I do is oriented around where. Right?
Okay.
The fun of where. Where is something? And